census data reveals that 1 out of every 4 people who call Canada home were or have been an immigrant or a permanent resident, making up the largest proportion of the population in the country's history. My guest today is a licensed immigration consultant, Sherifat Onabanjo. She is the owner of Green Tulips Immigration Consulting Firm, based here in Nova Scotia. She has helped a number of people to migrate to Canada from Africa, and she joins us to talk about immigration and matters related. Thank you for coming to the show, Sherifat.
Thanks for having me, Promise. It's an honor.
Interested?
Thank you.
We're so pleased to have you indeed.
I feel very privileged to be here.
Why don't you tell us about yourself? Let's know the experience you've had so far. I mean, the journey so far on these immigration-related matters.
For sure. So my name is Sherifat Onabanjo. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and RCIC. If you're able to practice as an RCIC, you have to be licensed, go through a particular diploma program, then do the exam to be able to have a license. And you have dues you pay every year. So I've gone through that journey to become an RCIC. Nice. I'm proud to that. I mean, I've been very conversant with immigration, even proud to get my license. So yeah. Immigration is something I love to talk about because it's a big changer, in people's life. So yes, I love that.
Then we have the right person in the studio today.
I think so.
Now, taking off from there, Sherifat,
yeah.
The report that came out recently, the 2021 census report, like I did mention earlier, it came with a lot of reaction from so many quarters, stakeholders, citizens, if you like. Did it come to you as a shock, and what's your take on it?
For me, no, because I work in this field. I see people who want to come here. Those that are not even here, I know people who cannot wait to come to this country. So I'm not surprised at all. People who have been living in denial to think that immigrants don't mean much. I think it's an eye-opener for them to see how much of a big deal immigration is to this country.
Right. So again, we realize that quite a number of the people that make up that increase in population are of African descent. And of course, they come in here as skilled workers.
Yeah.
How do you think that impacts the economy of Nova Scotia, for instance?
It's a big one because if you have skilled workers from other continents, from other countries coming to contribute their quota to this country, I know that the PR process is not an easy one. It's a point-based system where they judge you with your age, with your work experience, your education. So Canada gets the best of the best from various countries. So it's a very big one they are doing. They're getting the best of the best from various countries of the world.
Yeah, and I understand that there are different programs, that streams. Can you mention a few of them? What are they really? This PMP I learned?
Yes.
And what are the other ones?
So we have the popular one called Express Entry.
Okay.
Express Entry, and they have various streams under it. We have the Federal Skilled Worker Program, we have the Canadian Experience Class, we have the Federal Skilled Worker, we have Atlantic Immigration Program. These are the popular ones, but they have other ones as well that make up the different pathways to come to Canada as a PR.
Right. Let's talk about people who have already come in here. I mean, some of the clients who applied through you and successful through the process, and they're here already. How do they access information, resources, things that will help them to settle down, even in Nova Scotia? How do you talk to them about these things?
Yes, so for Nova Scotia, they have a settlement agency, ISANS, which is quite popular. They help in a number of, I'm a benefactor of ISANS. So they help you with different areas of your life, jobs, settling in, getting your license in your profession, even childcare, even getting family doctor, getting jobs, things that are benefit to you. They help you with that. And there are also other smaller ones as well that help you with settling as quickly, as fast as possible.
Right. And we also have students. And most of the time we tend to leave them out on the scheme of things. How can a student convert their status as a student to permanent residents and maybe up into becoming citizens in this place? What exactly do you think through our platform they will be able to learn on that?
So the province has a number of provincial programs for students particularly. So if you live here and school here, you have an edge to benefit from these provincial nominee programs as a student. So I think that once they come, the moment they land, they shouldn't wait till they graduate. Like before then, you start knowing about this process, knowing how they're eligible for, how they're eligible for them, and the requirements to meet these programs.
So I know that the people might be asking sometimes before they finally make up their mind to stay in here. They want to ask questions that has to do with culture, the cost of living in this area, and I'm worried. What will you be telling them? Because this seems to be a very cool place, part of Canada. Yeah. What do you tell them culture-wise? What do you tell them economically? Why they should be here?
Okay. So for one, culture-wise, I find people here are very, very warm and receptive. I've been to 6 provinces, and for me, I'll still choose Nova Scotia. For in terms of culture, people are very, very nice here. They're very welcoming. And in terms of weather, it's not as cold as it is. I mean, it's cold for sure, but it's not as cold as some other places, right? So for that, I would say, I mean, once it's winter, just wear the appropriate dressing, you'll be fine. In terms of affordability, like being able to afford things here, I think it's still affordable in terms of, housing, for example. Some things are expensive, but overall, I'll say it's an affordable place to live. Right. As an immigrant, as a student, as a PR. Also, I find this place as a good place to raise family. So if you're a young family, I think Nova Scotia is a wonderful place to raise your family. You have a work-life balance, in my opinion, compared to other bigger provinces.
Right. Yeah. So as we wrap up, this is going to be a bit personal. You're known to be a blogger. Yeah. Well known around this community. Are you sure? And also an ambassador to Nova Scotia.
Are you sure?
Of
no,
course, that's what we know about you.
Now
I
know.
I want you to tell us more about what you do.
Okay, yeah. So I have a platform called Live in Nova Scotia. Right. I just think that this place is underrated. So that's why I thought to start a platform to share my experiences. People thought it was somewhere out of nowhere. So with my platform, I have over 8,000 followers who didn't know about Nova Scotia before, who because of what I put, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know they have this here. I didn't even know you have this kind of life here. People think we don't have a social life. So when they see things that I share, that we experience here, they are very surprised. They feel, more at ease to come here. Right. I mean, so I think that for that, I'm doing that much to educate people about Nova Scotia. Yeah.
Like I said, you're an ambassador and you've chosen to stay here.
Yes.
Tell me what you should be telling people who are thinking of leaving this place to other provinces. Why should they stay here as we wrap up? And how can people contact you for your services?
I think I find this place to be sane, to be safer than some places. I find here to be, like I said, work-life balance, it's a big one for me. You can drive from work to your house 15 minutes, 10 minutes. It's not, you can't get that in other provinces that are bigger than this. So right. I think that, money is good. People go elsewhere because they want more, more paying jobs. That is good. But also think about, your work life. Particularly if you have kids who are just young, I would say please stay in Nova Scotia, raise your family, have a sane life, and that's what I would say to people who are looking to leave, in my opinion. And then as regards contacting me, my website is www.greentulip.ca and email is info@greentulip.ca. And on Instagram, I'm in Life in Nova Scotia on Instagram.
Oh yeah. That is the one I'm so familiar with already.
Yes.
Sherifat, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel so very honored to be here.
Same here too.
Thank you.
And that was Sherifat Onabanjo, an immigration consultant here in Nova Scotia. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for updates on happenings in the African community here in Nova Scotia. Till I come your way again, I am Promise Accord, and I will see you soon.